Hello, and welcome to Unexplained Possibilities Podcast. I'm your host, Melvin the Crimson Taurus, and unfortunately, Niema can't be here with us tonight. She is out whining and dining with the devil. Yes, that's right, the devil. So hopefully she enjoys the dance under the pale moonlight. However, you guys already know I'm not alone. Joining me tonight are two witches, and don't worry, I promise you they're both not wicked. They are sassy and sexy, the voices behind a little brew and a lot of tea, and I can also promise you they have not yet put a spell on me. Please welcome Simona and Stephanie.
Hi.
Put a spell on you.
I could put a spell on you, Mel. I would love to do that.
Well,
to
you're
be
a
honest with you.
redhead, so I might let that happen.
Of course.
Yeah, so how are you ladies tonight? Well, this early
We're
evening, I should say.
Yeah, it's only like 5 o'clock, so it's good. It's good. Oh, there goes the notification.
Everybody knows now.
Everybody knows. Everybody be tuning in.
I told everybody Mel has a voice.
They better get on here. I swear to God.
Well, it's okay if they don't. They can always watch later. It's no big deal.
That is true. That is true.
We're also joined by Phoenix, our lovely cat.
Hello,
that,
Phoenix.
I know. Phoenix is so black you can't see him.
Yeah, right. He's so dark.
But he's listening.
And hello.
So more importantly, how
Noella.
was your day, Mel?
My day... Wait a second. You're not supposed to ask me the questions. Hold up now. Wait a second. We're not reversing this. I know you ladies have some strong personalities.
Yes, we are.
But, no. But,
How was your day? How you doing, Mel? How are you?
no, we're not doing this. Hello, Noella. Hello, Doug. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, I'll give you guys the good welcome since you were here first. Noella and Doug, welcome to Unexplained Possibilities. There you go. You guys get the good ones. All right, so we're gonna jump right into it because there's something I've been curious about since I won't say day one, but we'll say day 3 after coming across you two lovely ladies, and that is, how the heck did you meet?
Okay. Here, I'm gonna make a booby. Okay. So tell me if it gets kind of weird, because just in case we want to be able to see the chat a little bit, we can. We met because I moved into the apartment complex, and that's how we met.
And I managed the complex, so that's how we met.
Yeah.
So, but we didn't hit it off. No, we hit it off from the beginning, but we didn't talk that much. I mean, I had my own thing. She had her own thing.
Yeah, true,
so.
true. It wasn't until probably what?
Christmas.
2018, 19?
It was around Christmas, and I'll tell you
2018?
Yeah, 18.
Yeah.
I was walking around and I saw her Christmas tree, and I have to say, I have never in my life seen that kind of Christmas tree.
It was Halloween decorated.
Yes. It was full of eyeballs, purple eyeballs. And I was mesmerized because it was a white, beautiful tree with eyeballs. And I was like, wow.
And black and orange balls too. Yeah. Let's not forget that.
But the purple eyeballs stared at me. So we started talking, then we started drinking, and then we started talking some more. So.
Actually, no. I said, do you want to come in? Because I had friends over, and you were like, no, I'm too busy for you, bitch. I'm too busy. I got to move on with my life.
Yeah.
So she didn't make that initial a step in the door. I think it wasn't until, I almost want to say spring, to be honest with you. But that was our real initial contact. But actual friendship development was probably more springish, I want to say, of 2019.
Right. When she made me a cake for my birthday.
Again, in February, yeah.
Like nobody makes that type of cake.
It had to be because, or was that 2020? I can't remember. Everything's a blur. I swear to God.
But bottom line is, she won me with the tree and a very unusual birthday cake.
It was a cat litter box poopy cake. So it was a cherry cheesecake cat litter box made with I put the cherries on the bottom. I literally took a cat litter box. I put cherries on the bottom. I put the cheesecake part, the filling, right? And then I had graham cracker crust that was crumbled on top, and then I bought double fudge chocolate like icing, and I made little poopies and I put them on top, and then I kind of and I had a kitty cat scoop. It was good.
Nobody wanted to
So
eat
good.
it but me.
Yeah.
I ate the damn thing by myself because everybody was like, yeah.
And I think that was either February of 2019 or February of 2020.
Yeah.
I can't remember because I know in 2019 though, I was shooting a lot of like little short horror films on my other YouTube channel. So I don't think you were a lot in the picture then, because I was like all over the building shooting and you had no idea.
Yeah, she was
Okay.
going
So-
lurking through the
Ultimately, it was not love at first sight. It developed over time.
Yeah, no, she hated my guts. She actually wanted to evict me out of the apartment.
Oh.
She was like, bitch, be gone.
Oh, no, I don't. Honestly, Mel, I don't believe in love at first sight. I think you have to eat a lot of food together for that to blossom in some way, no matter what it is, friendship or otherwise. So.
You know what? That will explain a lot about my love life. So I have to remember that. Hello, Kelvin and Kelly. Welcome. You guys don't get the good
Oh,
welcome,
yeah, they're all
though.
here.
Oh, and hi,
We do have
Kitten.
them there.
Afro Samurai.
Nice.
Hello, Afro. So you guys are all just in time. We're just getting started for the most part.
Aw.
And
With
we
the love
heard
at
the
first
origin story of the dynamic duo over here. So it's pretty awesome. Now, here's something that
I'm looking at the chat. We got some really kick-ass cool people in the chat. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
something I get asked a lot, but I have no real way of answering. And I don't think you guys can. Well, I already know what you're going to say, but ultimately, I don't think you can answer it because it's going to be different for everyone. But what is magic?
What is magic?
For you.
For me, magic is the shifting of energy to it's the shifting or manipulation of energy to create either your own reality or a reality of your liking.
Well,
If we're talking about working magic, like spell crafting, if we're talking about doing work, if we're talking about magic as like a spiritual path, then that is more of to me is like a it's like you gain knowledge. It's a lifestyle for me. I can't fathom any other time being without magic in my life, to be honest with you. But if we're speaking of like spells and stuff, it's a manipulation to shift the energy, like shifting mass, the matter. It's like all like scientific, but in reality is it kind of is. It's all connected. It's all interconnected.
Simona?
So again, for me, honestly, it's the best way to commune with spirit. Like in human form, Mel, we fall in love, like you were saying. Oh, how did you fall in love? No, in human form, you put lust ahead of everything. In spirit form and in magic form, you really commune on a level that does not exist with any other human. So it brings you so much peace and connection that doesn't matter. So that's what magic is in general, regardless of which side you take.
Yeah, there's like two ways of looking at it. Either you look at it from like a spell casting side or like a lifestyle side, like connecting with spirit and gaining that knowledge.
All right, so it's no bibbity bobbity boo poof or nothing like
No.
that.
No, God, no.
There is
no, but I have clients that think it's bibbity bobbity boo. Yes,
I mean, it make things easier. I mean, if I could, I wish I could snap
in
my
certain
fingers.
circumstances, it happens. It happens sometimes. I can't snap my fingers to do it, but sometimes things have manifested in a day or two. Like I shit you not, it does happen, but it just depends. Depends on a different circumstance. And I think they say that spirit doesn't have like discernment of like pick and choose of what is priority or not. But I kind of, based on the things that I have seen in the past and dealt with magically for many clients, I actually feel like that is false, and that I can do a love spell where somebody's trying to get the dick back, right? And they're all about that. All right. And then somebody comes along in an emergency situation, and it's a matter where somebody may be sick, or somebody is like, it's that level of like live or die situation. And I'll work it, and it happens just like that. But here, where they're, trying just to ride the dick, that just like drags on. It's like, that's not top priority. That's top priority. And I'm not doing anything different. Like, I'm not putting extra energy into this one. I'm putting the exact same energy, but I feel like spirit does know what is priority and what's not, in a roundabout way. I know it seems crazy, but I have seen it one too many times while working with clients.
True.
So many times when it's really something serious, that will go down. But like love and stuff, that's like secondary to like things that, it's like without your health, you don't have anything. So, you can't go and enjoy the things in life if you're sick. You can't enjoy things in life if you're like, going to be, homeless or something. You know what I mean? It's like, there are priorities, and I think spirit kind of knows.
Of course.
Yeah.
They don't really.
Yeah. I don't know. That's just me, just based on my own personal experience.
Well, no, I think you have a point there, but adding on to that, do you think that the individual can also play a part in that? Because, sometimes getting laid could be the top priority. I don't care if I get sick. I don't care if I get this. So could it honestly be that the individual is playing a part, and whatever you're working with is also feeding off that energy to push this a little bit quicker?
I want to say that, but I honestly can't say that. I honestly can't say it. You have seen it. I have seen it.
I'm gonna just say that Sunday I witnessed the reading. I just witnessed it. I was in the same room, so she was doing a reading, and I witnessed it. And I'm sorry. I feel sorry I didn't record it for ourselves. Like when we're in a bad day, I would have loved to play it along, because the level of stupidity a person has just to get laid was on a different level. This person literally just wanted to know if they do this or do that, will they get laid? And the whole point I'm trying to make is it will manifest. But I think she's right about sometimes the person, like if you're in the right place and at the right time, spirit may manifest it faster. Mm-hmm. If you're not dwelling on it and you're not like in her ass, like, will it happen? Mm-hmm. Will it happen? Definitely will happen if you're letting it go.
Yeah, true.
So it has a lot of factors. Like, it's not just like, oh, let's just do it and it will happen.
Right.
She always gives the example of, if you come and you want to get a new job, okay, you're jobless and you want to get a new job. Well, if you don't go online and apply, you have to do the footwork too. It's like you have to put your part in as well. Right. It's not going to land on your lap.
Yeah. Right. I like to say that it's somewhat 50-50. What you physically put out there comes back spiritually in an energetic way. So like you said, if you're looking for a job, well, what are you doing to obtain a job? Right. Like the door can be there, but it's up to you to walk through it, and if that door is closed, bust in through the window. Sometimes it is.
And I have an expression of sometimes you can fuck up a wet dream.
Oh, there is a lot of fucked up dreams.
And that means when I do, there are some people that fuck up a wet dream. And I'm serious. It's like you do work and, you reunite the couple, and then all of a sudden you think, oh, because I put a spell on them, I can be a total bitch and act like how I was when they walked away from me. Well, if you act like that, you can destroy your own work. So again, like you, Mel, what you put out there, you get back. And it's true. If you're going to act like a bitch, you get treated like a bitch. So, I don't know.
It comes back.
It comes back. Yeah.
Okay, so this one is another somewhat difficult one that I don't necessarily think is a true answer for, but are we
Okay.
all born capable of performing magical feats, or is this something that we have to be taught?
Okay. That's a good one. I believe there are some that absolutely cannot, no matter how much they try. And it might be just because internally they're just not receptive or open to it. There's some people that just aren't. How like it's hard for people to meditate, taking that 5 minutes of silence, just take that time out. So if you have a hard time just focusing that time during meditation, especially if you're a person that is kind of all over the place, meaning you have a lot of running thoughts in your mind and you might have a lot of things going on in your life, and that explains it. So that might be very difficult for people to be able to put that energy out there. I definitely think there's people that you can learn, because I'm always learning. I'm ever learning. And with the experiences and the different paths that I've taken along the way, I've definitely learned a lot. So it isn't like, okay, well, I was just, this is what, because I've done different paths, but I wasn't born with every path. Like I didn't know all this stuff, like right from the start coming out of the gate. It's like, as the course of life flows, you end up venturing into different paths or different, beliefs and who you work with and who you don't work with, or maybe you just don't work with that anymore and you start learning. So yeah, you can learn, but also if you're open, you're receptive, and you're not closed. And I'm not saying closed minded. It's like it's kind of like sometimes you hire somebody at a job, and no matter how much you train them or you tell them over and over and over again, we had one of those at my job, right? No matter what they told her, she just didn't listen. She may do it for a day, but then go right back to the way it was. So I think that there are those that absolutely cannot, just because of that scenario. And it's just the person. It's nothing saying that they'll never be able to, but I think you have to be able to get to that place where you are open to receive. And to be able to accept this information and be able to take it and run with it. But then there's those that it just comes naturally, and sometimes you don't even have to do much. But yeah, everything's learning. But I do believe there are some that it's just, oh God. Hence is why I started taking on clients. I didn't always take on clients. That wasn't a thing for me. I never wanted to do that. I had my Etsy shop that I started, and it was only supposed to be like oils and powders and candles and stuff. And then I started creating stuff for people. Like I would do it halfway, like meaning if I was going to do a jar for somebody, I would get the photos, the pictures, and I would put all that intention in there. Then I would ship it all off to you, and you had to finish it. And I liked it like that. But then it just became so much of a burden, because so many people, no matter how many times you told them what to do, what do I do? What am I supposed to do? I'm sorry. Oh my God, the candle, it leaned to the right. It leaned to the left. What does it mean? It burnt forward. And I'm like, oh fuck. And let me just do it. Maybe I could do it. But my fear was that you get people that are manic, panicking, want things now, the instant. Right. And I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for that. I don't know if I can do with the crazy. And then I started taking on clients, and then people were pretty good. I only had a few that were a little bit too much to take in at tea time or nasty. But for the most part, they were really good. And they are really good. I'm still working with clients. I closed my Etsy shop. I reopened it only to put on just tarot. I don't have any spells or anything on there. Honestly, I hate Etsy with a passion just because of that. Just because of the amount of the money that they take. The fees, it's ridiculous. And they have all these rules, and you got to set up these accounts in Germany. And I don't even ship to Germany. I don't ship, period.
Feel good? Did you get it all out?
Yeah, did I get it all out? Did I express my inner demons?
Not yet.
Fuck.
Not yet. But yeah, that's halfway the story. Yeah, definitely. I do believe everybody's born. I had a friend when I started halfway through my spiritual journey. I had a friend I texted in the middle of. I used to have bad insomnia, so I couldn't sleep. So one night I woke up and I texted her, and I asked her a simple question, and she came back with, "Honey, we're all born with the same gift. Some of us just work at it more than others."
True.
And it rings even now in my head, because it is so true. Yeah, everybody has the capability to. Whether you apply it to yourself, it's a different story.
Well, yeah, kind of like I said, like, are people teachable? They are, but some aren't, because they just aren't open to it. So,
right.
it doesn't mean that they don't have it. It's just that they're just, no matter what, you can't beat a dead horse.
Yeah.
Well, some are lazy, some are not committal. So some think it's just a joyride, a weekend or stuff like that. So like she said, going on a certain path, this is not like a one-stop thing. You have to learn and grow all the time. So it's and also even your commitment to spirit, it has to be the same. You don't just wake up one day and be like, oh, maybe today.
I want to be a witch, but that explains all the baby witches picking up the shit on YouTube.
I'm under the belief that we're all capable, but we have to find what works best for us. I relate this to when I used to, back in the school day. Back in the school days when I entered into high school. Oh, it was terrible.
1957, right, Mel?
Back in the day, no
back in the
day, I was a young gun, and but when I went into high school and everything, hated it, terrible, and I found out that I don't learn like everyone else. I cannot be taught at all. I mean, I can, but it's just very difficult for me to understand things unless someone puts it in a certain way. And the teachers did not care. It's like, 1 out of 30, no big deal. And I'll never forget that. Because I got so mad. I try not to lose my temper too much now, but I got so mad one day, and a teacher was poking me too much, and I was 6'2", like 190 pounds. I was in shape, and I could whip him, and I was so close to beating the mess out of this guy, because he said, and Marin, I'll never forget that Argentinian prick, but Sibon, yeah, you but don't know anything, you're kind of slow. And it's like, oh, really? And I was so close to punching him. I'm happy I didn't. So instead, I just gave him the middle finger and left. But after that, my mom was able to get
Did it do something, though, to you, Mel? Did it do something? Did it trigger something? Sometimes certain words have lasting effects where you're like,
one day I'll prove you wrong.
You know what?
No, it didn't. It didn't do that. It taught me that I'm able to control myself from punching someone. That's about it. But after that, my mom actually got me into independent study. And it turns out, like, holy cow, I'm actually intelligent. Like, I think it's still there too. I have one of the top 3. I don't know if I'm 1, 2, or 3, but I'm in the top 3 of highest scores for whatever test they gave me in California. And
you proved that Argentinian wrong.
I made the who's who of American student.
Yeah, and I
don't know if that means anything.
I graduated in like 3 to 6 months. I got my diploma when I was like 15. It was like, okay, good.
Yeah, I was starting college at 15.
I never went to college though, because I was done with school. Like, because I can go into a giant rant. I won't. But what I'm getting at is we all learn differently, and we just have to find what works for us. And yeah, you have to put in that work. But
True.
sometimes it's hard to find what works when you see everyone else doing this or that, and
True.
and then you
True.
get discouraged, and then of course you have morons on the internet saying you're not a
True.
real witch if you don't do it this way, and if you can't do it this way,
Yeah.
a demon has a hold on you. We'll just say that, or some nonsense.
Yeah, no. That's why I always try to express to people, like, be careful who like you listen to, or maybe you listen to them and then you just put so much stock into it that's how it's going to happen, or that's how it's going to appear, or that's how the spirit is going to look to you or act with you. And then when you go in and maybe it doesn't happen, or maybe it does, but it's much more dramatic than what they said. That's why I always stress, and I made that little video, like, your truth is not their truth. Like, your experience is not their experience. Everybody's experience is different. Like, yeah, you can listen to people, but until you experience it, then it's going to be your experience. You'll be like, oh, mine didn't happen like that, but it happened like this. But that doesn't mean the next guy is going to happen like that. So you have to be careful with YouTube.
And hello, Melissa, Tara, and Doll. Welcome. You guys don't get the good welcome because you're late, but welcome. Okay, so
give them the good welcome, Mel. Give them the good welcome.
No, they don't get the good welcome. Actually, you know what?
I'll
be nice. I'll be nice. I'll just give you part of it. Welcome.
Let me pull my hair out.
Okay, so
you're like a haunted house, Mel.
He has the voice of a haunted
house. I know.
So this is something that I always like trying to find out. And Simona, we're going to start with you because Stephanie has been jumping in front. So Simona, you're jumping in front this time.
Oh, no worries. I'm okay. What was no. Go ahead.
I don't know what that was. I saw a floating finger going across the screen. It must be paranormal. Maybe I can go get my spirit box. Oh my God.
So I'm always curious about this type of thing, but what got you into the spiritual path, the witchcraft?
Mediumship.
Yeah, mediumship, whatever we want to call it. What got you to walk down this path?
Tell them what you are, Simona. Tell them what you are.
Put you on a spot.
What you are.
To be honest, originally, like I said, I had years and years of lack of sleep. So I had at night I was trying to do something to, keep my mind occupied so I could fall asleep eventually.
Insomnia.
So the insomnia was really bad. So that was one of the things. So I started learning more and I just became more curious, like really curious of stuff. And of course, I had the same question as the one you just asked, which was, are you born with it? Can you learn? Are you teachable? Stuff like that. Then I just got into, searching for teachers.
Not Maybelline.
Right. It's not really Maybelline.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
So I just got into it because I was mostly curious, and eventually I found the right teachers, to follow. Because one of my teachers is big on, no matter what you teach, you always have to be kind to the other person, not assume they're a moron and they're unteachable. So even though some may not have it in that moment, you at least have to be kind enough to, wait until their path changes or shifts or something. So I think that was mainly it. And along the way, my mom passed away and I became really obsessed with trying to connect with her from the other side. So it was kind of like, well, you're gone, but you're still somewhere, I can still talk to you, because me and my mom used to talk every day. So it became kind of that search. So when I finally could, I was like, okay, that works. That's cool. Let's go do more, So I think that's mainly what it was. Selfish reasons. So I can't say, oh my God, I wanted to save the world. No, I wanted to save my world. And, after that, let's help some others, reunite with their loved ones or find their path or, teach them what we know and works for us, So pretty much that's the reason. But it was selfish reasons. And I think curiosity at this point is like more, let's grow more, let's learn more. Pretty much that's it. And like I said originally, I feel like connecting with spirit is such a different type of connection that I'm like people, like now I'm like like a snotty one, like, oh, really, people? I would rather connect with spirit than you. So pretty much that's how it's got to be. Because I feel like, the world is a lot of things, the real world. So spiritually is different, like you don't have the crazy and the chaos that, we have right now. So.
Well, for what it's worth, I don't think that's selfish. I think it was a form of therapy that would help you get through everything. And, it opens that door like, okay, there is something beyond. And holy cow, look at that. I have the walkie-talkie to connect with it. So, not selfish. What would be selfish is if you got the lotto numbers and you didn't share your winnings with me.
You know what?
That would be
I
selfish.
actually asked once. Okay, so my husband at some point had two questions when I started was, when do we get the lottery numbers? And
it's virtually impossible.
Well, first of all, no spirit is ever going to give you the freaking lottery numbers, but just putting it out there.
Yeah.
And the second thing was, can you connect with the aliens? Which I never even I was like, what? Okay, maybe.
Wait a minute, you just connected with the aliens.
Yeah, I did. I did. Because I was curious. I'm like, oh, he asked. Okay, I never tried it. Might as well try, So yeah, stuff like that, like curiosity. It became like a curiosity, but definitely lottery numbers, no, unfortunately. I don't think there is a or demon that gives you that.
No,
right.
Every single psychic I've ever asked have all said the same thing. Believe me, I tried, Melvin. I tried to get those numbers, but I can't do it. I can't get them. So it sucks. That's
well, the thing is that spiritually, you are meant to help others and be of service to others.
Right.
If they help you on a certain path, how are you going to help others by winning the lottery other than you go blow a lot of that shit?
You're happy you won the lotto, therefore that happiness is infectious and other people will be happy.
You could set up a whole psychic center with the winning of the lottery, so then you would help people. You would bring people in.
No, thank you. I'm good. Nobody's getting lottery numbers.
Why not?
No. Because I think you can be happy with your little cat in your apartment eating pie and drinking lemonade.
I would be more happy though with a lot of zeros and a solid number in my bank account though. And my cat
that is true.
Better food. So.
Yeah, exactly. Because then the cat can see the doctor more often. You could actually hunt things. You could buy crystal.
Right. No lottery numbers, please. No.
Well, I'll definitely. Hey, who's ever listening, give them to me, not her. So,
Yeah.
I am good with you guys giving it to Mel. Just saying.
Out of curiosity, what was it like connecting to an alien, and what species of alien was it?
Okay, so it's a long story. So one of the stories that is, I think it was a couple of years ago. I have a very, very good friend and mentor, Heather, who's trained in doing past life regression session. And I became curious, like, okay, how many lives did I have? What did I do in past lives? Show me the world, And I didn't know what it was all about. But she's like, well, you want to find out? Come for a session. So I went for a session. 3 hours and a half later, I realized I've been through 6 lives and I conquered the world, a lot of worlds. And in one of those past lives, I was an alien.
Turian, right?
An Arcturian, and I knew what I was. I knew what I did. I knew. I remember I had an obsessive love for blue coffee. Coffee was blue, and it was the most perfect shade of blue ever, indigo blue. And I got out of it so fascinated with the whole. I could see myself in that past life. The interesting part was I also met my husband, my current husband, who was a different breed of an alien.
He was green, right?
Yeah, he was very, very tall. It was different. It was a different species. And I got out of the session, and of course, I went home. I told my husband all about it, and all fascinated. And then his last question was, "So, honey, how many fingers did I have? 2, 3? Like, just curious."
3 things we come in big.
Right, pretty much. So, so that was the first initial thing. Then we did this test to find out what kind of breed of alien were we, me and my husband, and we found out I was an Arcturian and he was an Andromedan. And
what was that?
Andromeda, from Andromeda.
No.
Yeah,
that was
totally different galaxy. Alex Corlier popularized the Andromedans.
Yeah. So it's totally different. Totally different.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know a lot about that, Mel.
Of course.
Oh,
It's
that-
all
that's my
about the
background.
It's
alien.
about the alien. Yes.
So then it became this whole budding joke. The budding joke has always been that I always felt different from everybody around me. So I always called myself the alien, because I'm like, I'm an alien here. I was alien in this country. I'm an alien overall. So there you go. So then it became a budding joke to the point where Stephanie, most of her gifts became aliens.
Yeah, like we should have brought Paul.
I strode him.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
So it became a budding joke, but with my husband, it became kind of like, well, if you saw them in past life, what makes you think you can see them now or
True.
connect with them? So
True.
I tried, and it was pretty interesting. I have to say, pretty interesting. I connected with of course, Arcturians. Because
Did you get butt probed?
No. I was just. See what
I mean, that's what the society sees with the movies. You get anal probes, whatever. So you have to ask that question. Just get it out of the way.
Yeah. So it's just, I think it depends, but it's a different type of connection, I have to say. But they have a lot to say, So
Okay.
I have to say, I have never seen one in real life. I have never connected with one, but psychically in meditation, I did.
Okay. So going all the way back around. So Stephanie, hopefully you don't give me the bird this time. Just going tweet, 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 tweet. What got you walking down your path? What brought you into this life?
Into the life of witchcraft?
of psychic, witchcraft, the occult.
Oh, okay. Well, my mom, when I was a kid, my mom practiced magic, right? But we were very much religious. Hellfire, brimstone, go to church, Baptist in Ohio. You can only imagine, right? So we were there every Sunday, every Wednesday. However, my mom practiced witchcraft and black magic. And she was always lighting candles, but I knew something was going down, and, but it was just the norm. So you didn't really think anything of it. And of course, my mom was always doing seances. She was constantly doing seances. And my mom was very psychic. So my mom could either hold something in her hand and read you, like your watch, your ring, your necklace, whatever that's personal to you, and read everything. Just every flashes would come to her. So she was extremely psychic to that. And sometimes she wouldn't even need to hold anything. And what I come to find out, like remote viewing, my mom used to be able to do that because she would be able to see what somebody was doing, and she would explain exactly what they were doing. So anyways, growing up, I grew up in the cemeteries, doing seances, putting tape recordings on graves. I grew up doing all that. So it never felt like weird. And my mom would tell me stories of my great grandmother who practiced heavily, but she was heavily Catholic, but she was like, you didn't cross the woman. She would take you out, even in a physical sense, but also in a spiritual sense. in my teenage years, I remember my mom and I, we started doing stuff from books, just like, we go and we find a book in a store because, it was not to cut back to the church. We left the church. So after I got baptized, I got all that crap all out of the way.
Did it burn?
No, it didn't burn, right? And so when the pastor started screwing around on his wife, my mom and I, we left the church, right? We were done. We were done with the church. That was it. So in my teenage years, in the 80s, the late 80s, we started dabbling in like different various books that we would pick up here and there, like bookstores, kind of like witchy bookstores they had up in Oxnard and Ventura County. We found some books, and I stacked up on herbs that were in the books, and I had a friend in high school who, we were very much like, let's do the Ouija board, which we always did, and let's try to like conjure up something, and of course the Serpent and the Rainbow, we watched all those movies, and it's just like, oh, we want to do those things. And so my mom and I were like, you know what, let's send something to Jeff. So we did. We took one of my books. I still have the book today. I don't remember. I'd have to go in and I could find the exact thing. We sat at the table. We did the little, but prior to that, Mel, when my mom and I were just getting all our shit together, getting the herbs, getting the stuff, and taking it from where it was in my bedroom out to the dining room table, my mom was like, I wonder what Jeff's doing. And we both heard cheating as plain as day. And I was like, did you hear that? We heard it, right? Sometimes you hear spirit talk, and most of the time you can't understand. And usually it's a message, but it's not always that common. But we both heard it. So it wasn't like something that you might have just like misconstrued something. No, we both heard the exact same thing. So anyway, so we take all the stuff out to the dining room table, and we're middle of the thing, and my mom's saying the chant in the book or whatever it was, and calling forth whatever we were saying that you cannot understand, right? And so, all right, so when it was done, it was done. And it really wasn't anything but just burning incense and chanting this chant. Next day at school, Jeff comes up to me and he says, what were you doing last night? And I was like, nothing. We were just watching movies, my mom and I. And then he was like, did you send something to my house? And I was like, I tried not to laugh. I was like 16. I was like, no, why? And he says, because I was laying on the floor. My mom was on the couch, and I was watching TV, and I saw in the corner a tall, dark shadow, and it walked over to me and bent down and looked at me in the face. And I was like, so whatever the hell we said, I have no idea what it was. No idea. So that was like the beginning, right? But mind you, the whole time I grew up in this lifestyle of seances and Ouija boards and like tea leaf reading and like psychic readings and that kind of stuff. And my mom doing stuff with candles, and you didn't really ask too many questions, you just knew. And then, but it was like that moment was like the defining moment of like, I'm definitely like, this is my lifestyle. Like I always loved that lifestyle. I always loved like the aesthetic and just everything is just so like witchy and dark and all that stuff. So I grew up that way. So it's always been part of me. And, as you traveled like down the paths and the different roads, obviously I pulled the Wicca books. I have a ton of Wicca books out there, and I would do stuff from there, and, we would do little things, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't my cup of tea. And so I wanted deeper. And of course, you got more books and you tried stuff out of the books, of course. But then you would like go to like different witchcraft stores and things of that nature. And you would run into people, or like the people that own the stores. Like I used to go to Pan Pipes, and Farisa Bulk used to own that, right? And then she sold it. She sold it to Jimmy and Vicky. And then George still worked there. And so I learned a lot from them. But then, you end up like, you're doing the work and you're trying to do, I don't know, it's kind of like, how do I want to say? When you're trying to obtain something and say you're working a certain path and it just doesn't feel like things are working, you start venturing out. And that's exactly what I did and how I ended up getting into Santeria. And so I started getting into that, and I started working with some tarots. And I had a few not so great, meaning they were, all about the money, or, sometimes they just want to do a cleansing and try to get you naked to do the cleansing for it, right? And be there present instead of walking out of the room. So, I've seen the bad with people that do that stuff, and I've seen really good. But I ended up getting Santeria was not dark enough for me, and thank God I never got crowned. I almost went there, but it wasn't. And again, it's not my culture either. So, and I know you can be any race, any whatever to practice whatever, but I will tell you, when you don't speak Spanish and you're dealing with Spanish speaking people only, and you're trying to communicate, it's very difficult. It's very difficult. Beautiful religion, but very difficult if you don't, speak Spanish. But I started getting into Palo Mayombe, and I went into Palo because I wanted something darker. And I did. But before that, and really what led me into that was I ended up getting this spirit attachment attached onto me. And I saw it. It wasn't like, oh, you go to a gypsy and then they say, well, you have a dark shadow. No, I'm in my bedroom and things weren't going great. Like, it was just like everything was kind of like shitty and stuff. I'm in my bedroom at my computer, and I have one of those like tall mirrors that stand up and you can tilt them, whatever, like a dressing type mirror.
Oh, those
and
ones. Ugh.
kind of like the freaky ones, right? But it had the stand and stuff. And I had glanced over and I saw a shadow walk behind me. I caught, and it was like shadow, looked like a man, more of like human, right? And I was like, what the fuck? And then I dropped something. And when I dropped it and I picked it up and I saw my reflection in the mirror, I was already sitting and my reflection followed like 5-6 seconds after. And I was like, that's not good. That's not fucking good when you're detaching from your image. Oh, what the fuck? So I ended up getting involved with a Polero, very wonderful lady, Helena. And then I did, heavy cleansings with her. And, I mean, we all know what comes with that. We don't need to mention it here, especially like on YouTube, with the animal stuff. But, we got it off. We got the spirit off. But a lot of times spirits will attach to you, and it's like she explained, they especially if they're earthbound, like human, they actually like fall in love with you. Oh. And no, it's true, because they want your undivided attention. So they will separate everyone from your life and make your life miserable just so that you are soul with them. So, after dealing with that, I was like, holy shit. Yeah. You really got to be careful when you're dealing with magic and opening up and walking this path or any path, because it's like a calling card. Once you start opening those gates, anything can come in. So I went into Palo, and again, language barriers, but I was in it for several years. I mean, I had the whole thing. I almost got cut. I almost got that far, and then all of a sudden I just was like, this isn't for me. It's so strange how that happens. It's just like, this isn't me. I love it. Beautiful religion. Absolutely respect it. Absolutely love it. But it's not me. I don't feel it like in your soul. Like, you have to find your right journey. So then I went back to my roots of just basically doing witchcraft, black magic, doing my own energy. When I was in Wicca, it was Pan and Diana, right? Mm-hmm. But after that, it was just me using my own energy to manifest anything. I wasn't calling upon a deity. I wasn't calling upon nothing. And then Santa Muerte came into play. I had a friend at the time, Anna, who had told me about her, and I didn't know who she was. Honestly, I didn't know who she was. That was like in 2014, and I brushed it off. I was just like, oh, okay, that's what you're into. All right, no big deal. I tweet, whatever people do, I'm like, that's cool, And then like a year later in 2015, she came to me in a dream. And she came to me like a statue form, and she like washed up on the shore, and I like picked her up, and she told me the message that she would do this, and she would do that, she would do this for me. And I told Anna, and she's like, oh, she wants to work with you if she's coming in your dream. And at that point, I was like, well, maybe, I don't know. And I just had seen a white statue out at the one botanic, well, not botanic, a psychic eye out in the valley. And I was like, maybe, but then I started like hearing like a voice, like a female type voice, like whispering. And then I said, you know what, let me just go get her. But what is it? When I went out there, it was just the white was gone. It was just the money statue was the closest one. It was like her with her robe with the money. Still kind of white, but you know, a little money design. So I ended up getting that one. And I brought her home. I started working with her, but nothing. But that was still, I started dreaming of her again, but now in black. The black statue, you know, her with her black robe. So I was like, I got to get her in black. She probably wants me to get her in black. So I ended up getting another one, which they got my girl up there, and nothing. And mind you, Anna's not telling me anything. So I'm doing online research. Like, what is she like? What does she do? Nobody's telling me anything. And Anna didn't really work with her to the extent of giving her offerings. I mean, she would like know, like maybe give her tequila, walk her around her house, you know, when you bring her in. But that's about it. I didn't do a lot of like research. And here I am looking on YouTube for people that work with her just to hear like little things or like try to get books. So again, you have to search it out. And so I was working with her for about 3 months and nothing. And then one day it just opened up the floodgates. And now I have like 19 statues of her. Like she's all over my house. It's insane. And then the demonic part, that started, I mean, I was working with the demonics a little bit in the early 2000s, late 90s, a little bit touched on that. And then it was like, it's not working for me. I don't understand it. There's things that because I was doing the Goe show, and there's so many things that you can't get, you know, impossible, like tree limbs that you can't get here in California or whatever. I was like, oh, this is so complicated. So I put it down, but I have the books, right? And it wasn't until maybe about 2 years ago, year and a half, that it just a call to me. And now it's equal. It's Santa. And now I'm working with several demonic divine energies, several of them. But I was very, very pulled deeply. Like, it's a train wreck, but I can't stop looking. I can't stop watching. It's like, I was like, I don't know. And then I was like, girl, you may see me like walking on the ceiling one day.
Oh, yeah, she basically called me to say, if you see me walking on ceiling one day, bring me down. And I'm like, oh, excuse me, what? And plus, you would have, like, I remember one time when she started working with certain demonics. Mm-hmm. She calls me and I come over, and when I come over, she looks like trash. When I say trash, it's like she drank for like days and she looks horrid.
But
she didn't. And
right.
when she tells me the story, well, I worked with this spirit and so and so. I'm like, oh, this is how it is to work with demonic. Okay.
No, not always, but depending on situations or whatever you're doing it for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at now. I'm working with my Santissima, and I have my demonics. Okay. And that's where I'm at. And I also work with angelics as well, but mainly just Raphael.
Yeah. And hello, Richard, Iwi, and Will. Welcome. I don't know if you're familiar with them or not. I'm certainly not, but have you heard of the psychic twins? And if so, do you have any thoughts on them?
I haven't heard of them.
Well, it's considered, the term is basically represents your best friend that basically psychically can read you to the point of like no return. Yeah.
It's not like actual people, like two people that are like celebrity type twins, psychic twins.
No, psychic twins is basically, you know, two people that have such a close bond between each other.
Is that like a soulmate?
You could, I think soulmates don't really read each other. They're just going by lust. But no, I think it's two people that share a very specific bond. Okay. And I do believe it exists. I'm not going to dismiss it. But we have to understand humans are humans. They all come with flaws and all. So at some point, the two friends can sever ties, no matter how much they're psychically connected.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But yeah, I am familiar.
It's a thing called life. People come and go.
Right.
Okay.
Pretty much.
So I could be opening a giant can of worms here.
Open the worms, Mel.
I
Open the
really
worms.
don't. I probably shouldn't, but the other day.
But you can't stop the train wreck.
Yeah,
I mean,
don't stop
I
the train
could.
wreck.
It's just I won't because I kind of want the drama. But the other day on your Discord, Stephanie, you posted up, and I won't say names, but a very peculiar
Right.
woman who
Yes.
probably
yeah.
should not be doing what she's doing, and there could be some head issues there, to put it politely.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
how does that make you feel, like when it's someone who has no business saying they're psychic or spells for money or whatever, and they're ready to curse someone left and right? How does that make you feel?
Right.
How do you handle that?
Right.
What's the proper thing to do to handle something like that?
Well, thank God it wasn't directed towards me. How does it make me feel when I see people losing their shit just over really nothing because you have a personal hatred? I think it's says a lot about your own self. I think that it makes me very angry. It really pissed me off when I seen it. That's why I posted. I was like, you have to check this out. Like, people need to see like sometimes the crazy that's out there. It's like, you don't go attacking people for no reason. There's no reason to like attack somebody. First of all, you don't even know this person. And secondly, just because somebody is doing really good on their YouTube channel, like they have 500,000 subscribers, that's their business, that's their thing, they're doing good, and they're not even affecting you, they're not even coming for you. Like, why would you even do that? Like, that type of person shouldn't even be practicing magic, so-called, because they're like a smoking gun. They're just, and I've seen some backstory on them. And it's mainly a facade of what they have going on. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of just smoke and mirrors. It's smoke and mirrors. There's, when you have like more people complaining and writing up horrid reviews about how you got scammed, that's kind of that's a little telling. And then you're like so belligerently jealous. I think that honestly, that should be shut down. Like, I don't even think that should be continue to be allowed, and attacking people. And I mean, to that extent, that when I watched that particular video, it was so vile, and just so, like, not only that, but you were like doxing the person, like putting their birthday, putting their name out there, showing the shit that you're doing, making credible like threats of what you're going to do. It was just over the top. Like, if you've got that feeling, shut your mouth. There's a thing of code of silence. Shut your mouth. Do your thing and shut your mouth. You don't need to get vocal. That's why you don't see me. You don't see me out there, Mel. Like, I didn't even know you, because I'm like always in the shadows. It's like, until I like started coming out, then be like, hey, it's like cool, But it's like, I'm in the shadows. I watch a lot of stuff on YouTube, and that's not the only one. I've seen people go off the deep end on other people or clients or whatever, just lose their shit. And it's just like, you shouldn't do that. Like, it's a bad representation of yourself, number one. Yeah, it's good for the people that watch. They're all rooting on. Yeah, keep going. We want to see the fight. We want to see the fight between the people, two people on YouTube. Everybody's like, seething over it. They're salivating for it, right? But at the end of the day, it just makes you look bad. It makes your business look bad. It's like, I wouldn't even say like if I was somebody that wasn't practicing magic and I wanted to go to them, if I'm seeing them snapping at somebody, I don't think I want my personal shit given to this person. I couldn't trust them. I could trust them that they wouldn't like be vile against me and like post something publicly or go nuts on me as a client. I mean, it shows a lot of it's very disrespectful, but it's very immature, and you just see that this jealousy just all for what? You have nothing to do with the person. Of course, you're upset because they said something, but you came at them. You started attacking them, and then they just made a little comment, but which was true.
But okay, the perspective there, because after I saw what the video was all about,
I watched the whole video.
I personally, I am not wasting my energy to that extreme to watch that woman go lose her mind. Not my cup of tea. That's too much energy to extend. But the ultimate thing was, and I've always told Stephanie that I consider in spiritual realm or not, there is plenty of pie to go around for everybody. Mel could do tarot. You can do tarot different ways, your unique ways, different pie.
Right.
You can share that pie with the world.
Right. And how you do it with people, or how you do the reading with people, that's your way you do it. I'm not going to sit here and criticize Mel how he pulls cards.
That's the whole point with her was she got triggered for watching the man do his ultimate thing, be successful at it, be jealous because that success doesn't come my way, but you didn't put on the work. So why are you expecting his 500,000 subscribers to come to you because you're the baddest of them all?
True.
So Stephanie's right. We've always talked about it like being in the front line of spiritual world, but we're not that type. And I believe
there's no egos here.
No, I believe spiritually your work speaks better than I'm the baddest of them all.
Yeah, I think those who say that they're the baddest and the best are the weakest ones.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
if you're screaming,
you're usually the weak ones.
Yeah. The loudest in the room is the weakest one.
Yeah. So
but it was pretty.
Yeah. Yes, Mel. Watch out.
No, I think she actually unlisted quite a few of those videos. So.
Oh yeah, everything was pulled for like a year.
Yeah, so common sense clicked, I guess. And so,
I don't think it was common sense, Mel. I think it was YouTube sense.
Yeah, I think so too.
She must have gotten so much, backlash from it that, because she, even in the screenshot you posted, she was going on the deep end with, subscribers that were making just comments like you lost your shit, get checked,
Right. And then automatically if you say anything, I'm cursing you. That's it. You're cursed.
Oh, God.
You're fat. It's Saturday night.
Can you imagine if you would have to curse everybody that said a mean thing to you? I wouldn't have a life.
Right.
No.
Right.
You know what? I think I'm kind of in the clear. Not too many people say mean things to me, so I'm doing all right.
But I mean, like think about it online. If somebody criticized you, like you wouldn't have a life if you had to, hex everybody that talks shit about you.
Which is ridiculous. Just hit the block. Done. Over. There's your curse. Block.
Right. Right.
Hello,
I know.
Get smart quick. Welcome. And
get smart.
Let me answer Daughters of Lilith. She meant twins that have psycho abilities by nature, being twin sisters or brothers. Also, like one is good, one is bad. That's what you mean?
I think she means like how sometimes twins have that psychic connection with one
another.
Share
connection.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess it exists. I've never met twins, so I've not met a pair of twins. But I do believe they share a special bond. That's for sure.
I've met several.
I heard I was supposed to be a twin, but the other one died.
I've met several twins, and it's definitely something there. Like John and Jamel. Like, good Lord, that was weird, man. Like one of them's using.
Who's John and Jamel?
Oh, just some old, very old friends of mine. They're like, we're talking, oh my gosh. Yeah, very old
I
friends. And they were
Yeah.
twins, and they had some weird thing happening where one can use the restroom, and the other one's like, you know what? I kind of feel like I gotta pee all of a sudden. I was
Oh
like,
God.
really?
No, I'm not
Like,
going to the bathroom with you, okay? Like it's okay.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, one has to go to the bathroom to wipe.
Yes.
The
I
other
don't know.
one has to flush.
It was weird, and one could be in the total other room talking about something, and the other one just starts yapping about whatever that person is talking about, and they get together and it's like,
Mhm.
hey, were you just talking about this? Like, yeah, how'd you know? It's trippy. Like, I mean, and then me being an
I
only
can see it.
child and seeing this, like, man, am I missing out? Is it like this with twins or everyone? What's happening here? Like, it's some weird mess, man.
Yeah.
Um, so
That's funny.
just crazy. All right,
Yeah, it's
so
crazy.
this is a big one that I don't think a lot of people actually think about, but when do you know it's time to take a break from everything paranormal, supernatural, occult, witchy? When do you know it's time to just shut down and get away? If there's any
I
such
think
thing.
I know, right? I think when you're just exhausted, when you're burnt. I can honestly say, Mel, that last year when my Etsy shop was going and I had like a shitload of clients coming through from Etsy, my website was going simultaneously. I have them both now, but I shut my Etsy down for a brief time and just my website for people to come and do work that way. But there was moments where you're just so exhausted from doing so much spiritual work for people, and then like you're not like taking care of yourself. You're not like having time for yourself, and then you come to that realization like, I need to back up a little bit. Like I'm too much into the thick of it and just take a break. I didn't take a break because my website kept going, but shutting down my Etsy definitely shut down that flow of like clients coming from that angle. They just have to come through my website. Most of them like the Etsy, then I'm sorry, you have to go somebody else on Etsy, or you want to keep following me, go to my website. But I will admit that there are moments where I'll be doing overwhelming work and be exhausted, and I'll say to myself, God, I kind of wish I had a normal life. I wish I was just normal, waking up and just going to work
There's
and coming
nothing
home,
normal about
watching
you.
TV, and not doing anything. Like I'm like over my head. I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense. To me, it makes sense. It's kind of like you're in this life and it is your life, and I can't imagine any other type of life. But there's moments where you're like, wow, sometimes I just wish I was normal.
You would never be normal ever.
And I wasn't so much. I know it's like bad to say, and you're like, but I'm no disrespect to spirit, not disrespecting any of them. But sometimes you get those feelings. But I think when you become emotionally or physically drained is a time that maybe you need to just take a few weeks off and recharge and ground. Yeah, because I've had those moments last year when it was very overwhelming. Like it got to the point where it's like, holy shit. Like I almost was becoming that video that I sent you, but it would have been me just screaming about the shit. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that person. And then that's when I decided I got to shut it down on the Etsy. I got to like take it back. Even if it gets slower, it's fine. I'm fine. It all works out in the end. Doesn't matter. It's not at the end of the day, it's not about like, oh, how many clients. No, it's about you and being able to like balance, but not just balance, but like you're spreading your energy wisely so that when you're doing the work, it's not like just minimal. It's extreme. Like you're still doing it to the highest point. You're giving it your all. But if you're like drained, you can't. It's just no. So I'm like, gotta shut it down. Back it off. And now it's like it's at a nice flow. It's at a nice flow.
But it's also, Mel, it's important because people, it's a good question, the one you asked, because it is important for people to understand also, you don't have to do the spiritual work on an on-go without recharge. I personally, I'm never drained by spirit to that extreme, but I have to admit, people drain the crap out of me.
Like psychic vampires.
Oh my God.
Right?
Like I'm always like, if I have, like, if somebody pisses me off, I literally take a few seconds and think to myself, if I have to react, it will take so much energy out of me. Not even worth it.
Right.
But I personally believe, like, even with the job I have, it's all customer service based, so it's a lot of people. Once a year, I take a week or two and recharge, going on the vacation of my dreams that I, waited for a whole year for.
Right.
But generally, like she said, we learn to balance a little bit by doing, like, let's say, just like you take a day a week, like say Sunday, to just do your, just stuff that fills you up, stuff that recharges you, and stuff that makes you like, if you have to take a day to just connect to spirit and do no spiritual work for anybody else, just do that. If that's whatever makes you recharge. So we kind of both learn to do that, not just do spiritual cleanses because it's, our common practice, but also take the time to connect to spirit on a day without having to do the work.
Right.
Like, just communicate, commune, read, grow in some other ways. Take classes if you want to, other things, And I think people don't balance because they're like on it, like, let's catch the wave, let's, ride it, let's get more students.
Or you bounce from one spirit to another and you're not taking that time in between, and then that could mentally send you over the edge.
Right.
Because there are some spirits, Mel, that I've worked with that, holy shit.
Yeah, draining.
It's bad. They're draining isn't even the word. Like, physically sick. Like the next day after doing a working.
Right.
Very sick.
So,
like, thought I wasn't going to make it sick. Holding onto the walls, I'm going to fall down sick. Like, really bad.
That's not cool.
Not cool.
Sucks.
But that's the intensity of that particular spirit that I was working with. It's that kind of energy.
I can't say that I've ever really worked with anything because I'm weird and I just don't. But I have.
We love you with your weirdness, Mel.
Yeah, we like your weirdness.
Thank you.
I love you, Brewster. You're so cool, Brewster.
I have felt various energies, and some were just like, I don't like this, or it's like, okay. This is sneaky, like Lilith, for instance, when I felt her energy, and I'm sure it's different for everyone. It was very snake-like and hypnotizing and kind of snuck up on me. And like, yeah, it was very seductive. Like, oh boy.
Oh wow.
But
yeah, I've never worked with Lilith, so I don't know. I guess she has to kind of come to you.
Yeah, well, believe me, I've never once asked for anything to come to me. So they show up on their own, and I usually say no, goodbye, or something like that. But
she's hunting you down.
But Lilith was an interesting one, but she got banned by Pearl. So.
Pearl. Who's Pearl?
Is it your spirit, one of your spirit guides?
Pearl is allegedly one of my guides, like the main guide. And from what I understand, speaking with a couple of psychic friends, they said that she has been with me since the beginning, whatever that may be, and that she is not of this universe. She is from a different universe. And she apparently she got jealous and it's like, nope, you're out, go, done.
Oh wow.
I don't know, that's the story.
Women fighting over you even in the spiritual form.
See, you got something flowing. More than that chocolate love.
Fight over me in the physical though, man. Like, give me some redhead with a nice booty and let her fight some hot brunette, and yes, there we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh my God.
I mean, I want to at least be able to see it. Darn it.
Yeah, right.
But you'll feel it, Mel.
Well, no, that's the worst part. I didn't feel it. I was actually speaking to Bonnie when this went down, and we were yapping, and I felt like that Lilith energy again.
Were you on a live or you were just personal?
No, we were just on the phone. And
okay.
yeah, I felt that Lilith energy. I was like, what the heck? And next thing I know, I remember, actually, yeah, I guess I did feel one thing. My ear popped. And Bonnie was like, whoa, what was that? It was a woman screaming. And all of a sudden, that Lilith energy was gone. Never felt it ever again. So it was like, oh my gosh, Pearl banned Lilith. Can she do that?
Right. Crazy. That's crazy because Lilith's kind of hardcore, isn't she?
Yeah, she's primordial. You know, she's yeah. So I don't know what happened there, but yeah, she's gone. Which I'm not complaining. I don't need that around, honestly. All right, so 5 misconceptions about witchcraft that, and you know, working with spirit that you want to just get out. Like 5 misconceptions that people say, and it's like, no, it's not this way. Stop it. So,
okay, 5 or total 5 between.
You could do 5 between you two because we're closing out soon. So.
Oh, okay. Okay, 5 misconceptions. Well, then you're gonna go to hell if you work with demons.
Okay.
You're burning in hell for that. Yeah.
Or angels. Either way, you can go to hell, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Number 2, I think working with spirit, that it's, you know, it's something you manipulate for your own gain. Like in the sense of selfishness, you know, you don't go on this path so I can get the lottery numbers. Easy.
True.
You know,
True.
And I think another main one is that if you go and purchase whatever spiritual work from, you know, whatever witch, it has to happen like this, and you don't do anything. You don't have to do anything. There is a 50-50, like you mentioned, Mel. There, you do your work on your side and let the other side meet you in the middle. But most people think, I want him to come back to me. Well, he comes back to you and you're, like she said, you're still a bitch. He ain't gonna stay.
Yeah.
Spirit brought you.
But it is an instant. It's not hocus pocus.
No, it's not hocus pocus. And
not all witches are evil.
No, definitely not.
Like, oh, she's a witch.
And
oh, she's dark. Oh, she's evil.
Yeah.
Another misconception that we have sex with the devil.
Oh God. That is a big one.
We don't have sex with the devil.
Would you though?
No.
We don't sell our souls to the devil.
Lucifer Morningstar is too hot for that. Okay, and he would not sleep
He's
with
too hot
every.
to have sex.
No, he would be too hot to want to sleep with every woman of the universe.
Well,
you know,
a certain
so come.
LF film says differently, but okay, we'll go with that.
For me, Mel, he looks like Lucifer Morningstar. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the main misconception is that I think I'm gonna take what I heard your podcast with Curtis, and great, by the way, love. I was cheering on from the back seat because I loved his passion for trying to make people understand. Yeah, we're here to help you on your path if you choose to go on our path, you know. But we're not here to baby you. Like, be a grown ass man or woman and put in the work. We're not here to have a psychiatric call every night and share our dirty laundry, you know. Like, you know, going to someone for spiritual work doesn't mean I have to know all your crap.
Psychiatrist.
Yeah, most people, I have to agree with Curtis. Most people that go on this kind of path, they think that you're their psychiatrist.
True.
Listen to my shit, fix me.
True.
we're not here to fix anybody. You fix your own damn self.
You gotta
That's
fix
why
yourself first.
That's why most people go on this path, because they feel something is wrong and they need to redirect their lives.
Mhm.
But we're not here to save anybody. We're not here to baby you. I'm not here to listen to your sob stories. Honestly, I feel for a lot of the sob stories.
Mhm.
But so what? There is a lot more people that have more sob stories that I would want to, help or identify with.
True.
But basically, the main thing that I got out of the whole podcast with Curtis was one, as spiritual workers or spiritual teachers, we're not here to baby or hold your hand. We're here to teach.
So what was the question again, Mel?
The 5 misconceptions.
I'm like, dude.
5 misconceptions.
Wait, what?
We went on the derail.
So what was the misconception? Then we're not your psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Go see your fucking shrink, all right?
Well, like I said, Simona, just let it out.
I do. Thank you, Mel. Thank you for acknowledging.
Yeah, we both let it out. I think we've left a lot out today.
No, I think that out of all the things, that irks me the most, and that's why I wanted to point this out.
That is very draining, I will say.
Yeah.
That was very draining. It is very draining, especially when you have a lot of clients and you have a lot of people like going and.
Well, it's not even that.
You do have a heart, but it's like at some point, it's like when it's overwhelming, it's fuck. Yeah.
No, like most people don't understand. We are human ourselves. We have lives ourselves. We have friends. We have family members to tend to.
True.
Husband, boyfriend.
But sometimes they end up texting you at like 11:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, just like something recent.
Right. That's why
Piss me off.
I think that whole podcast with Curtis resonated with me because people think just because you're my teacher and I pay you, therefore you have,
or I'm doing spell work,
I'm doing spell work with you,
or ritual work or whatever.
You have access to my 24/7 time span,
and that's simply not the case.
No. So
yeah,
I just pointed it out. I wanted to point it out.
Yeah.
Okay. Boy, howdy. Okay. And hello, Behemoth. You caught us on the last little bit, but welcome.
Behemoth.
Hey, Behemoth.
Oh. Oh, Behemoth, no, you don't need that for sure.
And to be fair, I don't know if he's still watching. To be fair, and I've said this on his channel, he was an inspiration to me to really like draw me into the darkness.
Right. Behemoth, yeah, she watches a lot of his videos, and we literally like we love the calmness he has.
I hear you. Yeah, no, I mean he really did, because when I started getting the calling, and you're watching different various people, and you watch one channel and then they talk about another channel and they talk about I end up finding Behemoth, and it was like, oh. You wanna you look, but you're like, oh my god, I'm kind of scared, but I gotta keep watching. I gotta keep watching. It's so like seduces you in, and I know it's the editing. I know it's all that. I get it. I come from film background. You can lure people in with the editing, but there's something deeper than just the editing. It's like so like, oh my god, and it really like pulled me in that direction, and it really helped with that calling that I already had. So Behemoth, I give you props. You were my inspiration to start down that path. like that path. I mean, I've been in many paths, like as we discussed throughout this podcast, but down the demonic divine, you were definitely my inspiration for sure. And now I have my temple is like it's a lot. Right. It's a lot, but I don't work with everybody. I don't. I much like I'm not here to go through the roster of the book. I have select ones that I feel called to, and those are the ones that I work with. Okay. And then I still have ones that are, you feel like I need to do a ritual with them. I feel like they want me to do a ritual with them. So there are a few that I still want to, but I don't have many. I could probably count them on 2 hands, but not full 2 hands that I work with.
Okay, so
Yeah, this is just one side of it, Behemoth, the demonic side of it. Although I do have over there, and I have something more, which one day I hope to get a 3-bedroom apartment. I have a 2-bedroom, and but I hope to get a 3-bedroom or a house that I can have a backyard and have some things. And I hope to separate and have my Santisima in one room and my demonics in another.
And a temple like Behemoth.
And a temple like
crystals
Behemoth would be nice.
everywhere.
That would be my demonic.
Oh no, that's already in.
Too late for that.
Mel,
Okay.
like
What's that?
the crystals everywhere.
I've got crystals. And I'm not even like a crystal person, like, oh, I'm like into crystals for mystical. I like them because they're pretty. But you tell me how to work with one, I couldn't tell you. She's the expert of that.
Yes,
I'm not. She's
do.
the crystal expert. I just buy them because they're pretty. That's it.
Pretty and
whatever
shiny.
works. Two things,
Yeah.
and then we're going to hang it up. The first,
Okay.
the first is, and this is an interesting one. Is there anything that you know now that you wish you knew way back when? And would you, if you could go back in time, would you change that? Like with the knowledge that you have, you inform your past self, like blah 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 blah, so you don't do bleed.
Spiritual
Bleed.
Yeah.
I wish I would have been working with the demonic sooner. Honestly, I wish I would have went into that path straight in instead of touching base on it, leaving it, going into the different avenues. I wish I would have been on that path a lot sooner, just to have been working. Like I said, if you're in and out, I just wish I was more consistent with that. I think I would have enjoyed it. I'm enjoying it now. I love it now. But otherwise, I honestly, for me, I don't think I would change anything, because I've learned a lot along the way. I've seen a lot. I've met a lot of people, good and bad, in the occult industry. And mind you, I'm not talking like people online, because I come from a generation where you had to know somebody, and I still come from that generation. If you know somebody, then you get referred to them. And that's how it is. I'm not an online girl, even though, yes, I got my website. Yes, I have my YouTube channel. Yes, I got my Instagram. But for me, everybody I've ever worked with was always a referral by somebody. But then again, back in those days, when I was, like I said, practicing in Santeria and stuff, or even just, going over to like pan pipes, it was, everything's word of mouth. It was like there was no internet where people like posted up a lot of like their YouTube and did a lot of witchy stuff on that. So you didn't have that. And but yeah, I come from that generation of referral. But I don't really think I would change much, Mel, to be honest with you, because I've learned so much and I've seen so much. So it just kind of makes you wise to the various things. And then when your clients come to you and they tell you some horror stories, they've worked with this person and they did this to you, I see right through it, because I've been there. I've been taken advantage of, along the way. Definitely 100%. I wouldn't have it any other way, because now I understand people better for where they're coming to me when they need help. Mm-hmm.
Change something. I don't know if I would change something like stuff. I think 10 years ago, I would have answered you, heck yeah, Mel, I would have changed this, everything.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
But 10 years later, I feel the same as her. Like if I wouldn't have gone through, and I do strongly believe spirit brings you to along the way for certain phases in your life for a reason. One, because you don't want to see it. Two,
or two, you're not ready.
You're not, mostly because you're not ready. But when it's time and you're open and you're ready, they do bring it together to a point where you meet the right people. So you meet the right teachers. You share the right knowledge. You accept a certain teacher's information, because it's, not everybody, like you can go and take classes with certain teachers and be like, it doesn't really jive with me. So next.
Right.
Right now at this age, we're old, we're saggy, and we're definitely like wouldn't change it.
We're torn up from the floor up.
I refuse to accept that part. You're both very beautiful women, so no, torn up.
Oh,
No,
thank
get
you.
that out of there.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't think we change anything. Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
And finally, and I always love asking this one, what
Oh.
advice can you give to someone who is discovering witchcraft for the first time or their psychic ability for the first time, working with spirit? What advice can you give to them?
Read, read, and read. Knowledge.
Power.
Knowledge is power. Just get the foundations down, even if it's in books, and then seek out people. You'll find the good, like you said, the right people will come to you. The right teachers will come to you. And be patient.
Oh God, yeah.
Patience is key. Take your time, because everything comes on its own time. And you can't rush spirit. You can't tell spirit like, oh, I want you to do this, I want you to do that. It's going to happen now. You're going to obey. It doesn't happen like that. Patience.
Right.
Slow down and just allow it to happen the way it's supposed to be.
And I think to add to Stephanie, I agree entirely with her. Number one is patience, because a lot of people that start their spiritual path, they see someone else and they're like, oh, I want to be there, but you don't think that person took years to develop to get to that point.
And practice.
And
practice. Oh my God. No, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
It's like it brings you back to the initial thing about like being teachable.
Right.
Well, like over time and years experience of like working with different spirits and experiencing different things teaches you so much, and you develop that connection with spirit. Yeah, it doesn't happen overnight. So it's not going to be instant for you. Patience, and just keep working.
Right.
Like, don't be, I say read the books, but don't be an armchair magician either.
Right.
Like, get out there and have your own experiences, do your own homework, do your own stuff, and just allow it to happen. But don't get over like frustrated and like, oh, I got to have it now. Patience.
Or I'm done.
But it does take time. It's not going to happen overnight. It doesn't happen like, within like a month or so. No, it takes years.
And also to revolve back to what Mel said about the way of learning.
Mm-hmm.
People need to understand the way you commune with spirit. Everybody's communing with spirit in whatever magical field they're in.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely different. People feel spirit in a different way, in their own unique way. So you can't be like, oh, but I want it like they do. Well, you may not come to you like they do.
Correct.
So
Correct.
Understand that everybody is unique and has unique abilities, but if you keep going at it, you will get to find your own path.
True.
It's just not going to be that path.
True.
True.
Oh, and hello, Scarlett. You came right at the end here, but
hi,
welcome.
Scarlett shows up right when he's shutting us out.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Well, she's good.
That's horrid.
Well, I'm sorry.
Damn it. Did she not turn on the bell? Oh my God.
So there's a request for me to invite you back on again. So I guess
who's requesting that? Are you making it up?
Quick requested it to have you guys back on.
Thank
so
you.
I think I'm
I'm
going
like,
to have
are you
to do
making
it.
it up, Mal, just to be sweet?
No, I'm being totally honest. He said, you gotta get him back.
Anytime.
Yes.
We love you.
We're at your beck and call.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. Now, come on. Let's not go that far.
Why not go that far? Let's just do it.
You know that. We're great, Mel. We're great, Scarlett.
Okay, so where can people find a little brew and a lot of tea? I don't know why I struggle saying that because I like the name so much. But yeah, where can people find a little brew and a lot of tea?
You can find it on my YouTube channel at From the Cauldron Witch. So just, type it in. You can find it. And we do the little, we're not like podcasts, but we're like podcasts every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Do we have one coming up this week?
Coming up, yeah.
This coming Tuesday. Yeah, we do. So every other Tuesday at 5 p.m. California time on my YouTube channel, From the Cauldron Witch, we are live. And we have topics that
stir up the pot.
that are kind of triggering to people, but oh well, suck it up,
Oh,
Buttercup.
well. And Stephanie, you also do I Put a Spell on You as well.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So was it Saturday? Saturday at 3:00, I changed the time. A new video releases, and that is on my YouTube channel as well. And so what I've been doing is like just taking, because obviously I'm not good. Well, I can 100% say that because for Halloween I had little like contests going on my Instagram, and whoever won it, I was going to do like a little Halloween spell for Halloween that's coming out this well, as we know, Halloween's on Monday, but it's airing on Saturday. No, Saturday. Yeah, it airs on Saturday. And that's kind of a spell from myself, but for the mass majority and all the videos, it's actually spell books. So I have a bunch of like little spell books and stuff. So I've been going through them and finding just simple little things that you could do at home, and obviously give credit to the whoever wrote the book, and read the spell, and then we like do the little spell or whatever it is. So that's what I do. So that airs every Saturday. But the Halloween one is actually one that's one that I know of personally, and kind of twisted it a little bit because it comes from the Santeria culture, because you work with a shun with that. However, instead of working with a shun, I worked with my Santissima. So that went on my Santa Muerte altar. I didn't put on my demonic altar. I went on my Santa altar for that. So that one I put out minimal stuff that you could do, that you could get. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that goes in it, but I didn't list it because, well, then it would be like a spell that I actually do. Right. And I'm not going to give it up.
All right. So links are in the description, guys. Be sure to click on them, sub, like, all that good stuff. And while at it, be sure to check out Unexplained Possibilities on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, and Instagram. Those links are also in the description below. Simona, Stephanie, thank you guys so much for coming on. It was great.
Thank you, Mel.
Yes, thank you.
It was great. Thank you.
And with that said, remember, guys, there are things that go bump in the night. Go ahead and tell them bye or hi. Oh gosh, I messed up my own closing again. I'm drunk.
Whoa! Okay, back to one. Redo it, Mel. Redo it. Back to one.
Now I gotta edit it out. Oh, I'll do it.
What are you editing? We're live.
Well, I'm talking about for people on the future, on like Spotify and Apple, so they don't get the mistake. So anyway, bye everybody.